I'm Xandria Phillips, and you're watching Poets House Presents. Good morning. I'll be reading sections from Hall, my debut poetry collection, which is out from Nightboat Books, and I'm going to read about 4 poems for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. This first poem is called I Never Used to Write About Birds. I never used to write about birds falling out of the sky. I must have had freedom and lost it in my rush to pick through the ambrosia, bone, and crust the divine throw down to us when the sun betrays their secret luminous banquet. When gold dust collects in their feather threads against the cusp of dusk, the birds fall from flight, design forsaken, and punctuate the surface of Lake Michigan. Waves rush, filling the broken compromise between flight and matter. Every nerve I own is swelling to golden hours haze and plummet litany. It's time to glow up in praise of the stars burning gainless and the sun tracing clouds in Renaissance oil paint. Praise where the sky cracks open to its interior, the backlit ozone. This is the closest I'll get to grabbing our unjust God by the pearls strung across his throat, so I can ask why he sat back in luster all these years, watching my people die. Splay my country. This is how I feel, small and significant, when you blow me over like topsoil dusting a bulb. Small enough to live inside my mother, a piece of genetic scrap metal, a prayer, another planet's sun dust, goods where the umbra and the nettle thicket amass. I have forsaken my view of the cosmos for sprawls of aureole dawning steel. I meant nothing and I still do, but now the nothing comes disguised as neon drowning Orion in blush every night, and another day leaning back to die against the skyline. Built to hold every gaze, bound for the heavens, the city's refusal to migrate into me, and me begging its black harmony to keep chanting. I'm sighing open, spiral compounds for what men build, what we risk in unison. This poem is called Poem Where I Refuse to Talk About. I'm 8, wearing a frumpy bunched up dress with stockings I put runs in that same morning while rushing to pull them up after peeing and flattening my midweek temple frizz. The cool girls in their jeans and angel devil tees are having a laugh at my existence. They are white and built like miniature bird-chested women. On asphalt, my low heels clack like principal feet. I want the sweat of boyhood, its ease and virtue on my neck. I want my nature known, because I am the softest I can ever be in this moment when I don't rough my mutt hands on their throats for making terrible light of the second hand, the subhuman, my survival. Instead, I talk to grass, but a sapling myself. I am made every day like a bed, like a person makes another, and nothing ever asks to be made. So this is the last poem I'll be reading for you. I saved it as the last poem because I actually wrote this poem while in Poets House as part of a Winter Tangerine writing exercise where I was advising students and I was writing with them. So I can't remember the specific books, but some of the more exciting words in this poem were plucked from books in Poets House Library. Shout out to Yasmin Belkir and Winter Tangerine for turning me onto this exercise. And like I said, this poem is called Nativity, and it'll be the last poem I read for you. In the dream where I run without breasts, I am motivated by flight. I haven't yet begun to unweld the framework, invent new trauma, whip the stitch, arching each bosom as victuals dangled, withheld. When I hemorrhage against design, it ain't incognito. The neighbors walk their dogs past me. That's me smoking in the alley, letting roses from my wrist. Pedal to puddle, a misgendering of matter. These hooves unhinge themselves as tiny meteors to cudgel dusk. I redress the splintering woodwork, notched to my likeness, venial beneath the palm and lilac cornucopic delight. To partake in a gender, to fashion oneself a living process of it, casting a net of postures, adornment objects, and grooming techniques into a future tense. Where have I gone, and who have I built to take my place? Unsuccessful at the tossing of it, I throw rocks ahead of me and predict where they will land. By virtue of touch, I am every man I manufacture my difference from. The man slipping in the mirror's moonshine enters and leaves me between my double take. Every night, the countryside plays against my eyelids, a reoccurring taunt against my current location, the finale, currents of corn lapping the sun against my arms, pumping with youth, the site of my making. Thank you again so much for coming to my reading. Thank you to Poets House for hosting me. Thank you so much, Nightboat Books. For without you, I would not have this beautiful vessel for my words, complete with my own painting on the cover. Thank you for trusting me and supporting me. Poets House is really the perfect place for an introvert poet in New York to unplug and go deeper into themselves and someone else's work. It's truly a magical place near the water.
If you've enjoyed these programs, please consider giving a contribution to Poets House. For more than 30 years, they've kept the door wide open to everyone for the joy of poetry. Recently, they have temporarily had to shut the door and are reeling from the financial implications. Please give, even a small donation if you can. Thank you.